Let me show you why this new GDB500 watch is actually much better than the older GBD200 basically, and also the new GBD-300. And this is a GBD-300 that they just released actually. Basically, it's pretty much the same as GBD-200, just in a different case really. By the way, I have tons of videos on my channel about this GBD-200 watch as I had it, but however I returned it as I didn't really like it. So the first thing is the screen. Obviously you know that this GDB500 actually does not have this memory in pixel display that these other ones actually does have, and a lot of people say that this is huge disadvantage. Well, visibility wise it is a disadvantage, as this has got much better visibility than this one actually. However, there is huge trade-off for these watches, the GBD200 and 300 watches. They are extremely slow, extremely slow, and it takes a whole 1 second basically to be able to move between these menus. So this watch becomes extremely slow and unresponsive, and it's absolute nightmare to use. That was probably my main reason why I actually returned this GBD200, and the GBD300 is exactly the same, and no one really tells you this online. They're hiding this fact, really. I don't know why, for some reason. So, but yeah, the system is incredibly slow and sluggish, and it's basically a piece of yeah, you know what. So yeah, as you can see, this has got a really good normal system, and it's super fast, responsive, and it's absolute pleasure to use. This one is a complete opposite. It's complete crap basically on these watches. It's extremely slow, and again, no one really calls it out online. I don't know why. By the way, I have used these memory in pixel displays on Garmin watches, and they do not have this problem. They have gotten around this limitation basically somehow. So why isn't Casio doing that? So if you want a fast responsive watch, this is way better. Then the next thing, I had this GBD200 and I didn't find it actually comfortable to wear actually. The watch probably was okay, it wasn't that huge, but really the strap was a problem. I didn't like the strap. It was like very stiff, and basically I didn't like it at all basically. This one is actually pretty good, and it's very comfortable to wear. Also, this watch is much slimmer than those watches as well, so that's another huge advantage of this watch basically. The strap is actually very good actually, and very comfortable. And yeah, on this one, I don't know, I don't really like the strap on it at all, as it's very plastically hard basically, and it just isn't comfortable on your wrist. I mean, it's not the most uncomfortable watch in the world, but still, I didn't like it. Then the next feature that both of these watches, the GBD200 and 300, lacks is a timer actually. So wait, these watches do not have timer, you're saying? Well, they have some kind of like interval timer basically, which you can use for exercise, I guess. However, let me tell you, it's a complete garbage. It's again like complete, you know what. So yeah, it's pretty much unusable. It's slow, and it's also pretty much nightmare to set up a timer basically there. On this one, it's extremely easy. So the way you set the timer basically, adjust, I mean, so you hold this, and you can simply move down the seconds and minutes and whatever, and it's very fast to start, and it works perfectly. It has some kind of timer where you have to basically set 4 different interval timers, and it literally takes like half a minute to set your new timer basically, and it's completely unusable junk really on this GBD200 and 300. Again, no one online calls this out. I don't know why. And Casio, why are you including such junk on these watches? At least give us a normal timer, normal simple timer as on these watches. Again, timer is so much better on this. If you care about timer, get this one. Do not get this one. This does not have proper timer. And then finally, another thing where this watch completely destroys those watches. It does not have those junk features that these have, like that notification system, and also that supposedly exercise tracking. So that really, again, completely bogs down this watch, and it's slow, and actually those systems are not properly developed on those watches, and they're completely unusable. the notification system, while of course it sounds good and great, everyone would want such system, but actually when you get that watch and use it, it's completely unusable. You can't really even see the notifications at all. When you basically receive notification, it doesn't even show you the notifications. You have to go to the menus, click many times and just to see the notification. And also they do not show the notification content at all. They just show you one line, basically like a first few words from it, and that's it. It's completely useless, really. Casio is completely terrible at making smartwatches. On this one, it does not have that, and I know pretty much most people actually disable that notification system as it's completely unusable on those watches. And then again, that exercise tracking. Of course, it's I think that's an advantage of this GBD200 and 300, that they have that exercise tracking basically. But again, it's like bare bone stuff basically. It will just basically track your steps, and that's pretty much it. Will tell you supposedly a distance you have covered. However, if you don't have your smartphone along with you, it won't actually record your actual distance taken. It will just give you an estimate. So okay, so what's the purpose of that, since you need to anyway take your smartphone with you, and on smartphone you got a bunch of free apps that can do that stuff 10 times better. So what's the purpose for that on these watches? I don't know really. On this one you do not get such crap, and again it's very smooth and very fluid to use, and it's just all the functions you actually need, and they're actually usable. Great system actually on this one. Also, actually, I really prefer the layout of this watch much more. I mean the system layout and how things are displayed. There are no useless crap on this watch, unlike on other Casio watches. Basically, they like to clutter a lot with a lot of unnecessary things on the main screen. So on this, you only got your day, time and date basically, or you can also switch to the steps, and it's all usable information. On this one, literally half of the screen basically at any time is cluttered with some unnecessary junk you don't need really. And again, it's not ergonomic to actually look at this watch. When you compare to this watch, you can quickly see all the information you need and not any junk you don't really need anyway most of the time. Overall, this is a pretty darn good watch. Of course, I really would want that they included a better visibility display on this watch, as it's not good indoors. Outdoors, it's perfectly fine, especially in the sunlight. It's a pleasure to use. However, when you are indoors in dim environment, it's not the best really, and that's better on those other watches. But again, this is a trade-off basically on those watches. They're slow, clunky, and yeah, absolute junk really. Apart from that, you're not really missing anything on this watch. You also get extremely nice backlight. You got your step count tracking, you got the app basically. It has got a different app than those watches, but you can still see your detailed daily step breakdown. So you're not really missing anything, and you're getting much better watch. By the way, in the link in the description, I probably have the cheapest place where you can actually purchase this watch. So if you want a good deal, check it out. See you.